But no, he's just one of those things I don't smoke weed. Yeah, I slept
So,
in.
folks, if you're here joining us ever, we stopped going to bed. We got back up.
Yeah.
Darren O'Connor tagged me in a post, folks.
Who?
Must be because I'm camping out loud.
Connor?
Darren O'Connor.
Oh, up in Boulder,
Yeah,
yeah.
you know
Oh, I
Darren.
got, yeah, I got to get a hold of him because I got a brother that I met today, him and his family, that he needs to get in contact with because he wants to help out with the situation up in Boulder. They live up in Boulder.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I just met them today. They said,
Yeah, it's it's been a year since that guy died, and he had money
yeah,
in the shelter,
yeah,
but he couldn't sleep there, and they wouldn't give him his mail, and he
yeah.
died on the street. It was horrible.
Yeah,
What? Jesse not smoking? Kyle not smoking?
that was
He's
just,
just weird tonight.
that
huh?
was,
Jesse been smoking all night.
No, I said Jesse not. I invited him. I said you want to come smoke with me.
That's-
Jesse had never turned out.
you
These
know,
boys are snug in their tent too. You know what I mean? Sleeping bags and shit.
Probably was a good day.
well, I got extra the sleeping bag coats.
Right.
I got 9 of those. I'm about.
But you see, you're like me. You see the boots you got on your feet. You got warm socks on. You got
Yeah.
layers inside
Yeah.
those pants.
Yeah.
I got snow pants. I got pants. I got long johns underneath that. I got wool socks in my winter
Yeah.
boots.
You took it to the next level. I don't have to do that.
I got 4 shirts on, right? Long sleeve, microfibers.
I got this jacket on with a vest. Then I got my military thing on that was just superb. Then I got my Denver Homes Out Loud shirt. Then I got another shirt on. I got a 32 degrees shirt on. That's all I got on. And when I go in, I'll take this off, and I take my shoes off, change my socks, put dry socks on, and then I get into my sleeping bag, and I'm warm. My sleeping bag inside was sleeping bag.
Yep. Ain't nobody watching now.
Let's turn it off.
We're gonna go interrupt Brother Jeff here in a little bit.
Avery Sanchez is he's at home, man.
Yeah.
He's at home, man. That's one thing about that brother, man, is the fact that he understands the situation. But if you keep it cool, he not gonna fuck with you.
What about this guy over here? He's camping.
Oh, that guy, those guys, they meth head. We had. The very first night that I came back down here to sleep, I was sleeping right here, and he came out somebody had a tent up right there. A girl had a tent up. He came out with a machete and hitting on the tent and everything. I was like, oh shit! I think I need to move mine over here on this side, and that's what made me move because if you do it once, you something to do it again. And I didn't want no part of that because I'm not trying to portray that narrative of
Yeah.
the story. I'm trying to get the positive things out there and talk to people and everything. So,
You were housed. What happened?
I would house my neighbor underneath me. I stayed in 305. He stayed in 205. His name is Jerry. My name is Jerry. But every night, him and his girl be down there fighting. You hear shit going up against the wall and people will call the police and they come and knock on my door. And I said, no, it's not me, it's downstairs. But somewhere in the report, when they come in at 305, and my manager wouldn't renew my lease. She thought it was me. And she apologized to me, but the apology was too late because, and the only reason why she apologized to me because the day I was moving out, she had to come back over there for that, and the police was right there, and the lady that knew me, the police officer that knew me, she said, no, why you got Jerry moving out? He didn't want to keeping this shit together. And she said, I apologize to you. And by that time, I had started having bad dreams and having suicide thought from back in the day. And
Yeah.
so for me to come out and I still had my voucher, I would rather come out instead of him But at the same time, I had already moved everything out. I had already paid for storage. I had already paid for a
So
truck.
what about going back into housing?
Huh?
What about going back into
Oh, I'm
housing?
going back in. I got my voucher.
So when are you getting in?
I guess as soon as I find me a place that will take the voucher. I'm working on Welton right now, and I'm working on a spot down here off of 17th and Chestnut that takes Section 8.
How long have you been working?
I don't work.
I mean, on this thing.
Oh, it gets about a month.
It's been about a month. Okay.
A month.
Okay. So the system is working for you overall.
Yeah, it's working for me.
But
It gets that a lot of people are not taking Section 8 vouchers the way they used to because
it's not as profitable.
yeah, not as profitable as it used to be.
Now you were in front of mayor before because you're a veteran, and I thank you for your service as a Marine.
I appreciate it.
And I understand that they took your blankets from you.
Yes.
So you had a conversation with Mayor Hancock.
Yes.
And he said that they were going to stop taking
They
blankets in the
said
cold.
3 years ago that they were going to stop taking the blanket from November to from November to April,
Yeah.
and he went back on his word.
Everything's good.
Oh, everything cool? We all right? Oh, of course. Unless you want me to ride around with you all night.
It's not warm in here.
Oh, it's not. You got the window down. Huh? Okay, I can know that. So you gonna wreck, huh? Oh, yeah, please, sir.
She's cute, by the way. Sergeant.
Didn't you just come from the Women's March? Did you just? I mean,
She is cute.
jeez.
She talks. She's nice. But see, we wouldn't come and approach. I told the last guy to just drive on by. It's just causing a bigger scene by conversating. But folks, here, have this.
No, you can have it.
Okay. So, folks, Jerry's just commiserating with the sergeant over there. He's just having fun. See, Jerry.
Are you recording?
I'm live.
You what?
I'm live.
I didn't know that. Man, I'm trying to get me a date, man.
Dude,
Huh?
you're some stiff competition, let me tell you.
That's all right. No, I'm the next mayor. She
Okay.
could be first lady down there.
Brother Jeff did not you on that list the other day, so we got to go talk to him about that.
Okay, all right. I'll see you later, Sergeant
Thank you.
Lincoln. Okay. Lincoln?
Thank you, Sergeant.
That sounds like my adoption back in when I was a kid. All right, you take care. We'll be all right, all right? All right, thank you. Say what now?
I was just saying that in our situations, we don't encourage them to hang. But if you're going to run for the next mayor, then you're going to have to tell Brother Jeff because he doesn't have you on the list yet.
Oh, no, mine was a write-in vote.
Oh, well, you better
Mine
make
was a
sure
write-
his people know that tonight.
Okay, we can
All
do
right.
that.
So you're going back to housing, and that's the key factor.
Yeah,
Give me one
yeah.
second here. That's just about done.
Okay.
Just throw it away or whatever.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. So we're gonna introduce
That's a write-in candidate, right?
introduce his writing candidate. But listen, hey Jerry.
Yeah.
You been drinking how much more?
Huh? I have a pain. I'm sober. I'm sober. I'm in charge of my faculties. I'm not gonna say anything disrespectful or anything.
He's going live, right?
Yeah. Oh no, I'm very. I'm very aware of mine.
There was legislation that was passed through city council that said that urban camping or urban survival
Was illegal.
was illegal. It's illegal right now. And so you all should come to 27th and Arapahoe right now and see what's taking place in our city.
No, they need to put up a tent.
Bring a tent.
They need to sleep with us.
Come sleep with us.
Be in solidarity with the people.
That's the question.
That's
being
what I'm
in
doing.
solidarity. If you're being in solidarity with the people, clap your hands or do something. Let folks know that you're here. I mean, if you hear that, these are people who are in solidarity with
Look at that. We got a car pulling up right now, Jeff.
who cannot survive the Mile High Income City.
Jeff,
Yes.
I called him.
You made him feel sorry.
You made him feel bad.
I am one of the villagers of the beloved community village, the first tiny house village in Denver, Colorado.
Hey.
I am sleeping.
Don't get
in-
too loud. Don't get too loud.
Well, that's cool.
I
We're
am
talking
sleeping
about one of the
in
founders
the
of
tent.
the tiny home villages sleeping in solidarity. That's what we're doing.
Yeah,
I am in this
I'm
tent.
sleeping in the
No,
tent
here
next
goes,
to Jeff.
And
Brother
in the
Jeff.
tent next to me is one of the organizers, one of the pioneers of the tiny home village situation. And so if you come and you come to this first booth, there's PJ D'Amico. Come on into my
Hey, you better take off your shoes. You better take off your shoes. Better take off your shoes.
You guys just come in. We're in solidarity. PJ,
We're gonna-
everything that I have on right now, everything that I'm doing right now, I want to put this over here so I can. They can kind of see our silhouettes.
Yeah, it's kind of dark in here, isn't it?
but that's all right. But what you're seeing is shadows. Like for example, the shadows could represent those who are in the cave that are afraid of the shadows, that won't want to come out into the truth and the reality of what's happening, and then bringing that information back to those who could benefit from the light that can dispel darkness. Bring a tent, set it up. I mean, 27th and Arapahoe right now.
Right.
Yes, sir.
But PJ, everything that I have on right now, look, I got Jerry. Look, Jerry put me in a sleeping bag coat that goes down to my feet. And then
You're gonna stay warm, brother Jeff.
No,
we gave
no,
you the
look.
Cadillac.
I got the Cadillac, but everything that I have right now is illegal.
That's right.
You're supposed to be able to survive. You're supposed to be able to survive. But if you were to be in these elements and you put on a sleeping bag coat, like I have on, and then I'm in a sleeping bag, and then I'm on a blanket, and then I'm on an air mattress inside of a tent. I mean, this
You could
is
be at a
urban
mountainside.
survival. Now, just imagine if you had to go down by the lake or the river and they kept pushing you and that temperature continues to drop. Everybody, this is the spirit of Dr. King right now. Resurrection Village. Come to 27th and Welton. I mean, not Welton, Arapahoe.
Yes, 27th
Come in
Arapahoe.
solidarity with the community. Come let them know that, you know what, we're not going to be just celebrating a symbol without substance. We appreciate Dr. Martin Luther King, the work and the pioneering work of everyone who works for justice for everyone or just works to make life better. You have to be putting action behind that, not just a date on the calendar and saying, okay, on this particular date, I'm going to take a day off and I'm going to listen to some lectures, I'm going to play some music, I'm going to feel good, when at the same time in your city,
It's
you
not
have
about one day.
individuals who have lost their lives, upwards to 300 individuals who could not have this sleeping bag coat, this sleeping bag, this air mattress,
So-
this tent.
Can I
So
say?
PJ, go ahead.
Let's get some clarity on that, because it's not just that they can't have it; it's that it gets taken from them.
Oh,
Right,
and
so
that's the
let
thing.
me
It
say
gets
this. Let me say
taken.
this. Let me say. I'll pull that together. We live in a city which has become self-evident that the underclass is disposable. They are supposed to be erased, and when no one is watching, that's exactly what does happen: is that they're erased from public view, out of sight, out of mind. And so, first of all, I want to thank you particularly, Brother Jeff, and this is why, is you come out of this struggle and realize that you play two roles, is that you use your privilege, and because of your privilege, we have people listening to us. This is a confession that I want to make. I was sleeping in a house when I heard Brother Jeff talking and coming down to this tent, and I realized that we who are privileged have to sacrifice from time to time. But remind you this, is that I was sleeping in a king-size bed and could come out here and chose to come out here. But this is not my struggle. This is the struggle of the voiceless voices who have to rise up. And so I wanted to just say this. I'm asking, and I'm going to ask you too, Brother Jeff, and I'm going to tell this to Lisa Calderon and everyone. You can vote for the next mayor, and if you're not satisfied that any of the mayors are running, then you can vote for Jerry Burton, because he's running the second city, the new city. We're calling it Resurrection City 3, and its name is Jerryville. And so I wanted to sort of really give appreciation and a shout out to a U.S. veterans who put their lives on the line only to come home to a country that puts them on the street. And so with that, I wanted to sort of thank my brother Jerry for being a soldier.
And Jerry knows how to survive, you know, because he said, look, I'm gonna build you a tent, Brother Jeff.
This is his
Brian
corner.
Loma, he said, PJ said, okay, we're gonna take care of you. Come on out here. I got here. You know, everything is laid out. And I'm just saying, to be able to survive out here, you gotta be with someone who knows how to survive out
right.
here.
Yeah.
Just what about the young people who are getting put out of their houses, you know, or they don't have a place to get, and then they find themselves out here? It's going to be very difficult. And so you've got to be able to find individuals who are going to say, if you're going to be in these elements, here's what you're going to need to do to make it through the night, and then also to make it through another day.
Yes.
And there are almost 300 individuals
Yes.
right here in this city that their names are on these tents that are not with us right now.
Well, I'll put it to you like this, Brother Jeff. I'm to the side. You may or may not be able to see me.
Yeah, he's coming in.
But you can hear my voice.
Oh, y'all come on in.
My thing is, we don't want you to get muddy.
That's the problem. You gotta take your boots off. You
But
gotta take your
anyway,
boots
I
off.
just want, oh shit, I'm gonna shut. I just want y'all to understand. I have been out as a child, been a Boy Scout, been a disciple from my church back home in Alabama. I know I've always went camping. When I got in the Marine Corps, I learned how to survive because they taught me how to survive. In 8 foot of snow, I had to go out and sleep, even though we had a tent with a heater in it. But 1 week, you had to go out there and survive on your own in snow, 8 feet of snow. So I had to learn. And that's what I'm trying to pass on to people that have to come out here to survive, to show them how to survive. Give them the technique that the government taught me.
Well, you gave me everything. Listen, you all, I am bundled up for real. And so,
You'll be coming out in a minute.
again, everybody, this is the eve of Dr. Martin Luther King holiday celebration. We want to make sure it's more than just a symbol, but we put some substance behind it. We look at these policies, because when you have the United Nations coming to the Mile High Income City to take a look at the living conditions of those who are unhoused neighbors, and they're equating that to war-torn nations, that is really a disparaging kind of look. You know, you can have big, tall buildings, you can have bright lights, but you can also have darkness at the very same time. And what that darkness is when people don't have the compassion, they don't have the empathy, and they've moved into the ideal that I got mine, and so because I'm able to get mine, someone else should be able to get theirs. That's not necessarily the case. Everybody needs an opportunity to be able to enjoy the growth and the development of this city or any city, and for us to have to be able to survive without the protection of basic blankets. I mean, people's blanket, your blanket was taken.
My blanket was taken from me, my sleeping bag.
So-
Not once, but twice that day. But what I want to address on is this. one thing that we have to understand as people, everybody, we might be the same and look the same and have 2 arms, 2 hands, 2 feet, 2 legs, a heart, but we all are different. We all have our own path in life to live. And with that being said, we have to give a person. Everybody don't want millions of dollars. Everybody don't want to live up on the hill with the glass doors and windows and everything. You got some people just want to keep it simple and showing compassion and keeping their dignity and their respect about what they do.
Can I ask a real quick question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I want to keep it real simple. You're a veteran.
Yes, I am.
When you served, when you took that oath of office, did you take an oath to the Constitution of the United States
The
of
oath
America?
that I took was, I, Jerry Burton, do solemnly swear to uphold the U.S. Constitution against all enemy, foreign and domestic, and I'm going to say domestic again, due to the fact that that's what we're up against right now. To uphold the U.S. Constitution against foreign and domestic enemy.
Well, what would
All
happen?
enemy.
What would happen if you were defending yourself against the frigid cold and you needed a blanket, and there were laws that were passed that said you don't have the right to have a blanket in the cold?
It would be an injustice.
It'd be a violation of the
Well, it is a
Constitution.
violation of the Constitution, but it would be an injustice knowing that the United States government has spent millions of dollars on me to train to survive in cold during wartime, but yet instead I come over here and I cannot use a simple sleeping bag, a simple blanket, a simple tarp to cover myself, that we all have that within us.
Well, I'll tell you, everybody, 27th and Arapahoe, come by here. Come take a look. Come bring something. Bring a tent. Come experience what you may be able to go back to the comforts of your living, but come see what a lot of individuals are experiencing every single day, trying to survive. It's not even as cold as it usually gets.
No, this is January. And to me, this feels like Cuba to me. In January, honestly, I'm being serious. This feels like Cuba to me in January, and this is not normal for Denver at this time.
Well,
of
but
year.
let's be clear. It was a nice day, but it's a very clear night. We saw the
Yeah, it's very
saw the
cold.
eclipse,
Yeah.
which means that there's not a retention of heat.
Yes,
So
yeah.
if you're outside
All the
and you're
heat
not
at once.
bundled in,
Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. Lumumba
You see your breath.
and everybody who just it's cold out here, and help by helping. Everybody who does whatever you do to make it a better place for everybody or someone next to you or your family or whatever. Shout out to you, but let's not just celebrate and ignore the unhoused neighbors, the mental health, the laws that would push people into other cities to make sure that we whitewash and clean and scrub the floors so that investment can come in, so that, travelers can come in, so that your neighborhood can be swarmed with Airbnb investment so you don't even have neighbors. What happens when you don't have a city where people can just be neighbors, live, and enjoy the space? It becomes a tragedy. So I'm gonna close with Dr. Vincent Harding, the Inconvenient Hero. He's got a poem in here. It's not written by Dr. Harding, but it's a part of one of his essays, and it's about Dr. Martin Luther King. Now that he is safely dead, let us praise him, build monuments to his glory, sing hosannas to his name. Dead men make such convenient heroes. They cannot rise to challenge the images we would fashion from their lives. And besides, it is easier to build monuments than to make a better world. Think about that. That's the opening part of a poem, Now That He Is Safely Dead. Study Dr. King. Remember, he was working for and on behalf of the least of us. He was assassinated while standing up with garbage workers. And he had a PhD by the time he was 20-something years old. He never made it to 40 years old. But the world knows of him. They know all about him because of his legacy and his work. Let's not rewrite his script and say that Dr. Martin Luther King was the pitch man for your favorite corporation. Let's not say that Dr. Martin Luther King, wanted to build a lofty place where only the elite could move in. Let's remember that he was working on a poor people's march. So when you want to get rid of poor people, but at the same time you want to celebrate Dr. Martin Luther King, we're going to call that the height of hypocrisy. And so let's take a moment to take the politics out of humanity and just say, let us have a humanity that is infused inside of our politics and our policies. There's enough for everybody. We need to get rid of this scarcity mentality and know that this planet has enough resources to take care of everything that comes out of it and everything that goes back into it.
We have to be responsible with it, though, too.
Be responsible. We're on 27th in Arapahoe. Again, I got to tell you, Jerry, Brian, PJ, everybody, Therese. I mean, there's so many people.
Jesse's in the tents.
Jesse Paris is over there. There's a community. But look, this is not a big jacket for jacket's sake. This is a jacket sleeping bag.
It's a survival.
It's a survival coat, but it would be illegal if I were to just have this and lay down in it. I could be arrested. This is a sleeping bag. It would be illegal. This is a tent, illegal. So keep in mind the movement was about saying you have no obligation to follow unjust laws.
Exactly.
You are under no obligation to follow unjust laws that are against your humanity.
It's already right to do the right thing at the right moment when you need to do the right thing at that moment.
27th in Arapahoe, the eve of Martin Luther King's holiday. This is a great way to spend it.
Well,
Heck, we're out here with Brother Jeff.
Take you back. I mean, to be honest with you, if you take some of Martin Luther King's speeches
Denver almost out loud.
and if you bring them up to today's model with what's going on right now, it's the same thing that was going on then. It's just the fact that it was cooperation and the top 2%ers. It's the same thing. And we have to understand that if you are going to celebrate a man and his legacy, you also have to understand that you have to take his legacy and put action and work together to meet that demand, to eliminate that.
Well, it's interesting because last year I was in the Parade, and I'm a huge supporter of that as well. There's a lot of reasons people come together, and whatever whenever you come together and you're doing something to advance, and to create progress, I celebrate that. Mm-hmm. But I'll never forget last year, it was frigid cold. And when we were going up into, heading into the Civic Center Park,
Mm-hmm.
I noticed it wasn't a tent, but it was somebody under blankets and boxes. Right. And I only saw the feet move. Mm-hmm. And it took me aback because everybody was going past it like a stream.
They didn't see it. Invisible.
It was invisible.
Yes.
It was invisible.
Exactly.
Brother Jeff, this is PJ again. I think what's different this year, you and I were involved in a pray-in and a die-in when, who was the brother that got killed? Was it 4.5 minutes? Michael Brown.
Michael Brown.
And at that time, and we were a divided movement. And so you had a Black Lives Matter contingent, you had a mainstream ministerial contingent,
right?
But we weren't talking to each other.
But today you're all talking together.
Occupy is talking to the faith leadership. We're talking to the poor people's campaign, and you and I are talking.
And people of conscience.
Oh my!
So here's the thing. Here's the thing. If you are a person of conscience, if you are a person of faith particularly, then you would be the first to rise up against an urban camping ban, because you would say taking away someone's right to survive the elements is totally inhumane. And so to worship, to celebrate, to march, to link arms at the same time saying it's all right for someone not to have protection from the elements, and make that a law.
It's become an epidemic.
It's not a pattern that we want to set. It's not our value as a city.
Right.
And for those who are allowing it to take place, we're looking the other way as we walk past to celebrate and see the feet wiggling and
Jeff-
knowing that somebody is suffering.
That's the
Here's
thing.
what I love
Hold on.
about Jerryville
Kill me.
is that we have two cities, right? We have the city that is being built so that other people are erased, and it looks nice because they have dog parks, and in the dog parks, people can come and they can get disposable. And by the way, Brian, environmentally safe bags to
That's right.
to deal with their trash.
Compostable.
But
yeah.
in that
Compostable
in that
bags.
the mile high income city, there's no porta potties for anyone to sleep. In Jerryville, will
There's
dogs
no
be
toilets.
allowed or people?
I would prefer people, but dogs are also welcome.
Right.
But at the same time, in Jerryville, it's all inclusive.
It's all inclusive.
And we got to look back into our history.
Yes.
Because in this city, we have a history of doing a better job of this.
In this,
Yes,
now,
yeah.
okay, Brian makes a good point. In this city, we have a history of doing a better job than this. I'm going to end with that. Everybody have a great Dr. Martin Luther King celebration, but remember the reason you're celebrating. Don't let it just be symbolic. Don't come up 26th Avenue and see that there's one school called McCullough International and it's all white, 98%. And then when you cross Colorado Boulevard inside Manual High School, there's a co-located middle school also called McCullough and it's all black and brown. And then we're going to act like segregation is not taking place. We got to quit passing these things up and saying it's okay and giving excuses and just figure out a way to share what we have equitably and make sure that everyone has access to the resources of this city, this planet, and each other. And
Well-
with that being said,
Well, you got to understand, we as American people.
Jerry,
No. I'm sorry. No.
Hey.
We as American people, we got to quit labeling shit.
that's
We got to
right.
do better than this.
You know what I mean?
We gotta
We gotta do better than
label
this.
because the more you label things, that would keep us apart.
Well,
Like you got to understand. And for those of you who are going to watch this for whatever legacy of this is the first time since the end of Occupy.
right.
Therese came from Occupy, created Denver Homeless Out Loud.
Look, they're closing my. The
They're
condo
sealing
is
you
closing up. The air's closing
We
up.
haven't camped.
No, I don't want
This
too
is
much.
great.
We
airtime
haven't
on
camped
that.
in the city, but they camp every day.
There you go. So
Struggle a little bit and put yourself in the shoes of another person.
there you go. Struggle a little
Bless
bit.
you.
Put yourself in the shoes of another person. These little warmers will keep you warm all night too. I'm good. So until tomorrow, happy birthday, Dr. King, and remember there are some that are going to take what you've done and your legacy to heart, and then we're going to keep pushing to make sure that we prick the consciousness of those who would use that name in the name of capitalism, materialism, militarism, and racism. So with all that being said, happy birthday.
Rumble, rumble, baby, rumble.
Rumble!
Oh, rumble, rumble.
Rumble, rumble, rumble!
So PJ said he's getting in there with you.
No problem.
Ain't no problem. Ain't no thing like a camping thing.
real
All
quick,
right, it's time for me to go to bed, man.
Are you
See you in
staying
the morning.
here?
I'm gonna stay for a while.
All right, so quickly.
You gonna stay longer than that?
Good night, everybody. So we're gonna find this crew over here. We'll find somebody to hold my phone so I can put my.
Much better at a month than You know what I like?
Say hi, Fitz. Let's see you with the
To roll all
boycott
this
the
rubber
urban
out and
camping
stuff
ban.
it So you don't fuck with the oxide.
repeal.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's up.
You just take the plastic
Okay,
off.
will you hold this for me?
Yeah, and then roll
How do I do
out of the
this?
thing until the very end.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, folks, we are in the after hours. It's time to go to bed. We're gonna have a quick nightcap and call it.
Don't worry, you're going to get where I'm at.
It's cold. It's told. Police have rolled more than once. All right.
So the police came.
No.
Good job.
All right, folks. That's it. I'm shutting it off.